Solid Talk Podcast, episode number 9. It's a new year and there's new goals, right? Have you made your goals for the year 2026 yet? Well, obviously, everybody's going to have their New Year's resolutions. Everybody's going to have their new goals for the new year. But it's always good to keep yourself on a nice little, schedule for the year in order for you to get to those goals and complete them and crush them, right? Some people may do weight loss. Some people may want to do getting healthier. But everybody has these resolutions every year. They just change them up. They just change them up. That's all. Well, it's always good. It's always good to start off the year with some type of reason to push yourself through the year. But the bad thing is, if you don't have a plan, you're never going to get it done. That's the problem. If you don't have a plan, a lot of times those resolutions disappear real quick. Okay. But it's always good, right? But let's make 2026 the year that you get involved in your union. Let's make it the year that you say, I'm going to get involved. Okay. The problem is that a lot of us just sit on our hands and expect the union to do it all. The union is the members. Okay. Presidents, secretary treasurers, they're all among you working. They're regular people. You elect them from your coworkers, right? So if you ever want to pursue that, you have to get involved. You got to study your contract. You got to study the language. You got to study how to use the language. Obviously, everybody wants to be somebody one day, but if they don't start getting involved today, you'll never get there. Let's make 2026 the year that the Teamsters, that the UFCW, the IBW, the Carpenters Union gets a lot of future leaders. Everybody, just partake in your meetings. Go to your meetings if you can. If you can't go, then at least get educated in your contract. Start there. Sometimes you can lean on older brothers and ask the older brothers for what they know before they retire, right? It's always good to pick their brain. And you know what? Trust me, these old timers, they know. They just don't share it. They just keep it to themselves sometimes. But I bet you if you were to ask the older guys, they give you some good knowledge. Where I work at, we got a lot of drivers. Okay. And you get to hear everybody over the years the stories on how it used to be once Lucky's, Albertsons, then Safeway or whatever, Vaughn's. And you trip out on all the way how it started. The guys that have been here 40 years. Imagine being at your job 40 years. Okay. It's a long time for anybody. But being a union man, now that's where it's at. Anybody can offer you a paycheck, but could they offer you a career, a retirement when you retire, a pension, or medical for life? They call it. That's medical post retirement, right? Once you retire, so that you don't end up on the lower type of medical. It's good to join a union when you're young. It's very good. Reason why is because you're gonna get a pension. Okay, the more years you put in, the more it'll be there. You're gonna get medical. Okay, and if you're also kind of savvy, you'll start a 401k as well. You'll have that there as well, waiting on top of Social Security. Now you hear in the news today how everybody says Social Security is not going to be there when you retire. It's going to be defunded. Who knows? Social Security's been around for a long time, but there's a lot of people living longer now. There's a lot of people living way longer now than there was before. Let's make 2026 the year, if you don't have a 401k, that you get one. Put away a percentage that you could live with, 10%, 15%, whatever. And if your company does match, because there's some union houses where you get pension and the company matches. If it does match, well, that's fine. If it doesn't, regardless, you still got to put something away. Two things: prepare now, because by the time you know it, you're 65. You know, you're 65, and boom, retirement's right there. You know, the cost of living it goes up. Inflation is real. And living in California, New York, Illinois, Washington, Oregon, some of these places on the coast, it's expensive, very expensive. So you want to prepare for what could be the future. You know, you want to prepare. Don't expect you hitting the lotto being the retirement plan, because it's a once in a 1,000% or 1 in a 1,000,000% that you might get that. But honestly, let's make 2026 the year that you prepare. You put some money away. Just put some money away. And if you're not in the union, you're seeing this, just make 2026 the year that you join a union. Doesn't matter what union. If you're good with your hands, you could be a carpenter. The carpenters union would love to have you. The IBW would love to have you as an electrician. Okay? The plumbers union would love to have you as a plumber. But if you want to be a teamster, you could also be a teamster. Truck driver, you could be some public sector jobs are teamsters. The guys that work for like the public works, those are plumbers as well. There's a part of the teamsters, I think. There's a bunch of different teamsters. There's warehouse, there's clerical work ones. Trust me, there's a long, long list. And trust me, 2026 could be the year that you make it and join the Teamsters. UFCW, they operate the stores, clericals like the Vons, the Albertsons, the Ralphs, people at the store there. But they also operate in hospitals. They have people that work in the hospitals that are UFCW. There's also different. They represent a lot of people. So 2026 could be the year that you join a union. Okay, make it 2026. That's what I'm talking about right here with the new year, new goals, 2026. Moving on to topic number 2. I'm going to be interviewing on here today um, a friend of mine that got fired for using his aloe, and the company tried terminating him. And if it wasn't for him really doing the work, who knows if you would have had a job today. I'm going to show you that right now. This interview I recorded earlier is an interview with Mike. His name is Mike Arce.
So what, we live now?
All right, we're on Solid Talk Podcast. Joining me today is my friend Mike Arce. Introduce yourself, sir.
What's up? It's Mike.
Do a little
I
better
don't
than
know.
that, sir. His name's Mike Arce. He's a truck driver from Albertsons. And Mike, how long you been truck driving?
Total like 13, 14 years?
13, 14 years. So, Mike, you've worked for Albertsons, correct?
Correct.
So, how long you been with Albertsons?
About 4 years going on 5.
Going on 4 years, roughly?
Yeah. Every year.
Okay. So, tell me, Mike, your story. As a reason, you had to fight to get your own job back. Is that correct?
Okay, well, I went on leave and I was having issues with the doctor. It wasn't sending my okay. No. So my leave was denied, but they gave me one to appeal. Check. So they would give the doctor to my wife. They approved my appeal. So the Alabama team approved my appeal. the same time, everybody in HR changed my relationship with Albertsons. They terminated me. About a week later, once I found out I was approved. I didn't see the email with the termination. When I found out I was terminated is when I called back to give them an additional follow-up letter from my doctor, and the LOA team told me there was a change in my relationship. So about that was late July, early August, July, August. I called John Green. Well, I called Kit, shop steward for Albertsons Irvine. He called John Green. John Green called me. I explained what had happened. He called.
But for the public, who is again and who is Kip? Who are they?
Kit is a shop
What are their
steward.
positions?
I don't know his last name, but Kit is a shop steward for Irvine Albertsons drivers, and John Green is the president of 952, local 952, right? So John Green called me. He said, I explained what happened. He said, give me a minute. He called HR, called me back, and he told me something that was a little different than I was expecting, that they thought my note was fake. And that's the reason why they let me go. That wasn't the actual reason why I was terminated, but it played a part. So then at that point, I told him I'd like to file a grievance because I was approved from my LOA. I had proof of it. I had an email from the LOA team. Uh, about a month passed. I called him. I tried to call him several times throughout the week, and he wasn't returning my calls. Till Friday, I called him and let him know that if my call wasn't returned, I'm going to be contacting the NLRB because I'm not getting what I pay for. My weekly dues, they take out my check, my representation.
So you
So
felt that he was you and he was putting you on the side burner. He wasn't
yeah,
listening to the problem.
I felt I was being neglected. So I let him know if he doesn't want to handle my issue, maybe the NLRB could help me out. I don't know. About 20 minutes later, he gave me a call back and said the weirdest thing to me, that we've never spoken. Keep in mind, like I stated earlier, told Kid about my situation. Kid called John Green. John Green called me. So how he could tell me we never spoke was a bit odd, especially if he's the person calling me. Um, then I
Right.
guess he remembered who I was, and he said I wasn't terminated, which I guess technically I wasn't. It's a gray area where they let me go, but I wasn't fired. I don't know exactly how that worked, but anyways, we set a meeting. The day before the meeting, I prepped. I got all my paperwork in order. Got all my preps in order. And then at the meeting, time of the meeting, I showed up 20 minutes early for that meeting, thinking that we would conversate about my case and we would kind of figure out what he needs and help him better prepare to defend me, which wasn't the case because when we got there, we went straight up to the office. Thankfully, gratefully, hopefully, I mean, I'm glad there was a couple of grievances prior to mine. So it gave us a little bit of time to talk. Me and John Green went outside. Me, John Green, and actually, what's his name? Shop steward, Ralph was also in on that meeting. We went outside. I briefly told him what happened. We went back in. All he had was a legal pad. He should have had all my documentation pulled up because he has access to all that. But thank God I prepared the day before and I had all my documentation with me. I mean, if you stay ready, you gotta get ready, you know? So, we went in. She started
But
in my,
what is that he pretty much made you do all the work yourself, go get all the information, dig up all the evidence to get this thing done. Right? Pretty much what you did. You did the homework yourself. You went out, you saved every documentation, every piece of paper, every email, right? I think we lost Mike there for a second. But the story is so far is that Mike Arce had to pretty much do his own homework.
I don't know
There
if
you
you
are,
know this,
Mike.
but
You're
we got
back.
cut off. Yeah, we got cut off and stuff. So yeah, so basically, he didn't make me do my own homework. I did my own due diligence. I just thought he'd be more prepared.
Well, I mean, you're paying for a service. You expect
I am paying
service
for a
from your
service. I paid
Teamsters,
for a
right? From your
service.
union. Yeah. And you never expect that you have to do all the homework yourself, but it's always good to save every documentation, every paper, at least for 8 months, 6 months. And once you're out of the clear, and you can shred the paperwork, But it sucks that you had to go through this on your own, pretty much, and then to get them to really do their fucking job. Um, but Mike, what advice would you have for any other Teamster that goes through the same situation?
Make sure you go there ready to defend yourself. Don't rely on nobody else to defend you. I mean, it'd be nice if people are there to defend you and help you out, but I didn't depend on it, and I'm glad I didn't because if I did, maybe I wouldn't have a job right now. But I
Right.
depended on help. I had my paperwork ready to go, and because of that, I was able to keep my job. Management started giving out the my tardies and or my failures to call within a half hour of the call time, which is a points issue. And when they got to the day of my approval, that's when I told her she needs to hold on. That I actually was approved for LOA at that time. She didn't believe me. She asked if I had paperwork, which I did. I submitted it to her, and at that time she told us we're going to take a pause in the meeting that they needed to speak to legal, and 2 days later they called me to come back into work. So
Yeah.
glad I was ready. I was prepared. I had my paperwork in order, and yeah, that's what saved me eventually. Essentially, that's what saved me.
Yeah, that really puts a dent into the plans, for a man when you get a fight for your job, when you're assuming you're good, you're LOA, your doctor puts you out, whatever, then you got to fight, to get your job back. It shouldn't happen. And I think some of these representatives got to get off their ass, you know, not just having a title, fucking job. Do your job, you know? Um, Mike, we appreciate that you were able to open up with us about that. And obviously, bro, you're a teamster that's a fighter. You fought for yourself almost, there. I would recommend you in the future, man. You should consider shop tour, man. Shit, you do the detail, you do the homework, bro. Damn.
God,
Well, Mike, I appreciate your time and thank you for so much for helping me out with this here, letting me know your story. Solid Talk is an open platform for anybody who wants to talk about their issue. Mike, you got a shout out for anybody?
I want to shout out my boy George. What's up, George? George,
Bigfoot.
what's up?
About to be a grandfather as well, right?
Yeah, what's up?
I said you're about to be a grandfather as well, right?
Oh yeah. I'm about to be a grandpa, so
You're about to be a grandfather. Who's gonna have flyer kicks? You or your grandson?
both of us.
Thank you, Mike, for the time. Have a great day now. Make sure you keep on trucking, brother. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. It was a little rough to hear because he was in his car, but either way, if I have a chance, I'll try to get another interview with him in person. But I hope the gist of the story was there. You guys heard what he had to say. Um, it sucks. It sucks to have to go through that, and he's about to be a grandfather as well. Right now is not a time to lose your job. Right now is a time to step up and be a grandfather, be a hardworking one. Okay. Um, excuse me. A lot of people are losing their jobs right now, and that brings me to topic number 3. There's a lot of companies doing layoffs. Okay. It's a lot of companies doing layoffs. You have Tyson Foods in Lexington, Kentucky. They're laying off a whole plant, 3,400 workers in one town. They're not union, but just because they're not union doesn't mean that they're not workers. Solid Talk, we cover labor, unions, anything to do with labor. Okay. And that sucks because 3,400 people are losing their job. Now, Tyson Foods operates a lot of facilities. Some of them are union, some of them are not. And for them to lay off a whole plant, it's a beef processing plant. Okay. It's a monopoly, honestly. It's not because they're losing money, it's a monopoly. They're controlling the prices of the beef like this. There's only about 4 or 5 major companies in the country that do beef processing. You have Tyson Foods, you have National Beef, you have Cargo, I think it's called Cargo, I think it's called, and I think there's like one more. Cargill, I think is the name of the company. But there used to be a lot more companies before. Maybe it's something that the senators and the representatives of the country should consider um, passing a law. How about the Fairness and a Fairness Competition Act? Something like that. Something to bring back mom and pop food processors. Maybe invest in the country. Give 0% loans to startups so that stuff like this doesn't happen. Tyson Foods is a humongous company. They're humongous. They shouldn't be able to just control a whole town's economy like that. I mean, that's the whole town is the whole town. The whole town worked for this company, pretty much. 3,400 people. Lexington, you know, I call it Lexington, Kentucky. It's Lexington, Nebraska. I'm sorry, Lexington, Nebraska. Uh, it's a small town. It's not a massive city like Los Angeles. And for them to let go 3,400 employees like that is wrong. Um, I know I saw that a lot of companies went into there and they're offering job fair. They're doing a job fair to try to get the people employed. Well, I hope they do get a job, but I really hope that they do get a union job because this will be a good chance to see. Don't give away your hard work to some of these big ass companies that won't even take care of you at the end. Cut you like yesterday's fat off the back of the piece of meat and throw you out. They throw you out with the trash. That's not right. They definitely got, these politicians out there, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever you call yourself. You need to get off your fucking ass and pass some laws to protect these people's jobs. Okay? Any type of job. You got the rise of AI, and you guys are probably okay with it because you want that shit to be, lining your pockets for all those people that get those envelopes from those Silicon Valley companies or these tech giants. But let's be honest. If you have nobody paying taxes, who's going to pay your salary? Or is it the fact that you're being honest finally in your life, politicians, that the check that you get from the government is smaller than the bribes you get from all these company, what are they called? These company special interest groups that go into Washington and hand out envelopes to have you vote a certain way. Because if that's the fucking case, you could get out of office now and we could elect some people that are actually going to step up for the public. Okay. The public should not have to worry about these jobs being gone. Okay. This is no longer the horse and buggy times. Okay. The Teamsters, the horses, yeah, you started with horses, they moved into to trucks. Okay. But still, let's think about it. If you have AI running these trucks out there, or AI running these plants by themselves, no human beings at all, who's going to make those tax dollars that pay you, that pay the government? Okay. And let's think about that. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of people. Okay. So what are you teaching America? Go to school for nothing? You're going to lose your job regardless to a robot? Really? Is that the message you want to send to the children? America was built by the hardworking people. Pay taxes. If you got lucky, you were able to buy a home for your family. And if you got really lucky, you were able to buy a second retirement home or a vacation home. Okay. The economy is not in the favor of the worker right now. Yeah, you could say, uh, work harder. No, what happened here is it's been rigged. The system is rigged right now. The worker is getting the raises that are not keeping up with inflation. Okay. The worker is getting the short end of the stick. You know, if you have a business, even if you have your own business, you're struggling. I've spoken to owner operators. It is not good times right now. A lot of guys are losing their trucks. A lot of guys are losing their businesses. Okay. This is not what it was before. Before the pandemic. Ever since the pandemic, all the thing went upside down. Everything. Small businesses have been wiped out, and the big businesses have been killing it. You know, the Walmarts are killing it. The Costco's are killing it. Amazon's killing it. They're all killing it. They're making billions of dollars. And when your workers decide to unite and join a union, you have a problem with it? Really? You have a problem with it? Walmart hasn't done it yet, but they should. Amazon's doing it. Those employees are doing it. From New York to Washington to California to Texas, Atlanta. American workers are frustrated. They're not asking for handouts. They're asking for fair pay for their fair work. These guys are running hard, working hard. There is some dumbass delivery guys out there. There is some. I don't know if it's the ones that are unionizing, but I know for a fact that there is some dumbass delivery guys that will leave a package outside your gate instead of in the gate or on the porch. But that doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be union. Okay, mistakes happen everywhere. Okay, there's jackasses everywhere. I work with a couple. Trust me, I tell you, there's jackasses everywhere. But the union is not here to wipe your ass. The union is here to make sure the company doesn't abuse you. They don't take advantage of you. They don't try to punish you unjust. That's what the union is for. They're also there to make sure that the working standards are up to par. The reason why unions exist is because they used to have child labor. The children are out of the warehouses now. Okay. And they brought the scale of pay up. Okay. So that's the reason why unions exist. Okay. It's not just for people to think that it's organized muscle. It's not. It's the unions worked to provide a fair chance at getting a good contract. You unite with all your workers, your coworkers, and you tell your representatives what you want, what's reasonable, and it's their task to go and get the negotiation done. Some unions are great, some are not. That doesn't matter. The fact is this: if you don't like your representation, you could always vote it out. But back to my point here. Okay. The point is there's a lot of layoffs going on already. Okay. The layoffs are happening. FedEx said, no, who is it? Amazon. Amazon did layoffs. UPS did layoffs. Tyson Foods is doing layoffs. Silicon Valley, Meta layoffs. Think about it. The people that wrote the code are not being let go. That means what? They wrote a really good code and now the computer's replacing them. You know, did we create our own replacement? UPS. It's crazy to hear the numbers. 48,000, I believe I saw. They're laying off. Why? Why so many people? You know, I see these people, they're hardworking people. They're the only ones that go all out come the holidays. They're working late delivering. I mean, food service and grocery as well. But UPS is one of the hardest working package delivery companies. And to see all these guys being let go like that, or now they're throwing buyouts to buy people out. Really? Really? You're going to buy people out? It's very frustrating to see all these layoffs happening going into 2026. Now, if you were let go, I'm pretty sure by now you probably already found another job. But if you haven't, obviously this is the time right now, if you're able to, get into a union. If you're from a union, call your local and tell them, hey, get me another job. Where can I go? There's jobs everywhere. There's companies, there's unions that train. Let's say you were a warehouse person. This is probably an opportunity to go get a training for something else. If you want to do truck driving, there's a shortage of truck drivers. There's a shortage of truck drivers, and it's not a it's not a fabricated shortage. What it really is, there's a shortage of qualified drivers. Qualified drivers. Because you have some states issuing the non-domicile licenses to people that shouldn't actually be driving those trucks. California was caught red-handed, handing out, I believe, 17,000 driver's license to people that didn't have the right to get a license like that. Now, there's a shortage. Think about this. California alone is a massive state. If they're going to suspend 17,000 licenses, that opens up 17,000 new jobs for young brothers in warehouse. If you work in warehouse, I know you know what's going on. Robotics is coming. AI is coming. Up and down the state, it's coming. Companies are finding ways to cut costs. You know, become a driver. Right now, we're still fighting that. They're trying to bring AI trucks. Become a truck driver. That will at least, honestly, if everything holds up, we will have a job for at least another 20 years. Okay? But if politicians get in bed with Silicon Valley, I really hope that they understand what they're doing by putting so many millions of drivers out of a job. Do you just tell a politician like this? Would you be safe packing a van full of your grandchildren or your children, your wife, and put them in traffic surrounded by at least 20 of those trucks that drive themselves? Tell them. I bet you their answer will probably be no. They know damn well that it's just a paycheck envelope and just vote yes to allow it. These companies know that that technology is not even ready yet for the road, and they're pushing it. For the young brothers in the warehouses, I tell you this, there's still time. You could get trained for another job. If you want, do it now while you're still working. If they haven't laid you off yet, do it now. You could become a welder. The Walden's sheet metal union, their guys are always training people, and they pay well. The carpenters union, the trucking with the Teamsters, you could still drive a truck. We still haven't lost any jobs yet. Even though the companies will try and the AI companies will oversell what their trucks could do, let's be honest. Would you want a hacker from across the country to hack those trucks and cause mayhem on the freeways with that? No, I think not. Not with your family on the road either. Okay. So politicians, get your head out of your ass. Put some more money into training. Let's train these brothers and the young Americans. Okay. If you didn't go to college, trust me, you could still make a six figure a year salary. You could still make 130,000 without going to college. Okay. They just sell you that you need to go to college and so that you'll spend and get yourself into debt. There's so many people out there right now that have a freaking master's or a bachelor's degree in liberal freaking arts and they're not even using it. They work at McDonald's. You know, let's be honest. You could have gone to trade school, learn how to trade, be an architect, or learn how to read plans, how to lay pipe, you know, how to do electrical work, HVAC, okay? Drive a truck instead of going to college. College is not for everybody. It is for some. If you want to be a lawyer, want to be a doctor, something like that, a professor, okay? But if you're just going for like liberal arts, really? I mean, come on. America, wake up. Get to work. Okay? Get to work because America is there. It's there for everybody that wants to work. Our economy is still moving. Yeah, there's layoffs. But I tell you this, I think those layoffs are really more linked to um corporate wanting a bigger cut of the apple. Okay? Why would you do so many layoffs if you still need people? Why? Because computers can run themselves and write their own code. That's the reason why you laid off all those people. Trucks can't drive themselves. Even though you say they cannot drive themselves. It's not gonna think the way a driver thinks. Coming to the winds and the rain, the snow, or a hazard, a dog that jumps into the road, or a kid. Okay, let's think about that, America. Trucks are safest with human beings in them. There's I know there's Massachusetts, there's Nevada passing laws to restrict that you must have a human in the tractor. California, wake up. You need to pass the same law. And if you want union support for all you politicians, if you want union support, you're going to do it. Because if not, go knock on those doors yourself. Us union guys are not going to go knock on those doors for you. Okay? We're not going to go and campaign for you. It's not right that the unions are giving these punk ass politicians all this cash and they're not even fighting to pass these laws. Wake up, California. Wake up. That these guys need to know that the unions depend on their help. They want our help, but we want something back in return. Okay? Truck drivers, we move America. Okay? We move America from the union guys to the non-union guys. We move America. So young guys that are losing your jobs, come on guys, get trained. There should be some work for you in the trucking game still. And if you can, get with a union. Okay? Um, ABF, very good union, right? UPS, they're laying off people, so maybe not there, but um, grocery's always busy. Um, Ralph's, Kroger, Albertson Safeway, um, Gelson's, Stater Brothers, you name it, wherever you live at. If it's union, they're working. Trust me. Um, but yes, right now, I really say that with all these layouts going on, the best thing to do is get retrained. Get retrained so that you're ahead of the game when it happens. Okay? You're ahead of the game. And if you're in a union, trust me, you're always going to have another place to go. They'll always tell you where there's other places that are hiring. They represent many, many accounts. And they will tell you who's hiring. Okay, so don't feel like it's all lost. Okay, it's not. Um, so you know, Sorry about that. Topic number four. I wanted to talk about there's um there's a lot of changes into the laws coming to the United States, um, especially with the AI stuff, you know. But you also know that there's laws to every state that change every year, right? There's laws that protect workers, and I really think that as union members, we need to stay in tune with that. You know, let's get educated with all the changes. Let's get educated so that we know our rights and regulations. Um, Maybe you work in a place where you deal with food. Okay, maybe there's changes to that. You really got to stay up to par with these changes and be informed. Be an informed member and find out. You know, not only that, I know California, we change laws like crazy. It's like changing calzones, you know. But the most important thing is this: who are you going to vote for? These people write the laws, okay? They write the laws. So it's very important for you to vote for somebody that represents what you believe in. You know, not everybody that's Democrat believes in the same things as everybody that's, their same party. You could be Republican. You maybe voted for Trump because you wanted border security or you wanted more steady dollar or you wanted you know you wanted some type of normalness to your life again, and you don't have to agree 100% on who who you voted for, right? Say you voted for Biden and after 2 months you're like, oh, I regret the vote. Trust me, we've all been there. If you voted for Trump, we've all been there too. It doesn't matter who you vote for. They're not perfect. You can't put your trust into man because man will always let you down. Okay? I'm not trying to get religious on you, but I'll tell you this much. If laws and presidents and governors will let you down, doesn't matter who you vote for. Okay? Doesn't matter. Uh, Nobody's perfect. Um, the only one that's perfect is God. Just, you know, as a union man, before you go to work, it's always good to just say a prayer. You know, protect your family, protect your home, protect you. Because there's a lot of guys out there that lose their lives at work. There's a lot. You know, I've heard stories from guys that had a heart attack on the dock, from guys that had heart attacks in the bathroom, from guys that had heart attacks doing a spin off delivery, guys that had a heart attack as soon as they parked the truck, they had a heart attack. Or somebody cuts you off. It's sad. You know, just remember that. If you can, before you go to work, say a prayer. But like I said, laws, changes, all that stuff. It's it's just how it is. It's We got to stay informed in 2026. Let's make it the best year. Let's get active and let's really be a part of our unions. And I hope to have some more interviews next week. I really want to start interviewing a lot of people. So if you want to be on here, talk about something, if you're on a strike or if you just got a new contract, you want to talk about the contract, we could talk about it. Um, Trust me, doesn't matter if you're barista union, if you're a Teamster, IBW, anything that's union that you need to bring some attention to, let's do it. But I ask you, please be always respectful of your coworkers. Be respectful of your coworkers because you see them every day. They're like almost like family members, right? Sometimes you hate them, sometimes you love them. Some you won't even talk to at all. But that doesn't matter that they don't deserve your respect. With that, I say thank you so much for supporting me. Solid Talk. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook. on TikTok, you name it. Solid Talk, and let's do it. Okay, every week, let's do it. Thank you so much. Take care of your family. Work hard for your family, and more importantly, respect your family. Take care. Bye bye.